Welcome to Essence of Style. I'm David Tupaz. I started my designer series 2 weeks ago with the legendary Gabrielle Coco Chanel, one of the great fashion icons of the 20th century. Responsible for clean, simple, and comfortable styles, she freed women from the corset and invented the little black dress. Today, the designer designing for the House of Chanel is the flamboyant Karl Lagerfeld. Visionary, eclectic, and iconic, Karl Lagerfeld would most certainly have been an enlightened mind in the age of enlightenment. As a fashion designer, photographer, publisher, and also film director, Karl Lagerfeld has created a universe in which every line is perfectly under control, each detail of absolute importance. Karl Lagerfeld instinctively grasps every molecule from the atmosphere and turns it into the mood of the moment. His style delves deep into his cosmopolitan background and to his perfect mastery of languages, which he acquired in Hamburg, where he was born in 1938. As soon as he had finished his studies in Paris, he entered the world of fashion still a very young man, and in 1954 he won the Woolmark Prize. The coat he created for the occasion, which won over the jury, was made by Pierre Balmain, who recognized the young graduate's talent and took him as his new assistant. 3 years later, Karl Lagerfeld was appointed artistic director of the Maison de Jean Patou. Karl Lagerfeld is intriguing and ever questioning, never leaving anyone indifferent. His ability to capture, anticipate, and interpret tomorrow's trends always fascinates. Just when ready-to-wear fashions were first taking shape, he embarked on a career as a freelance fashion designer in France, Italy, Britain, and Germany. In Paris, he left his marks on Chloe. In Rome, he worked to give a new look for Fendi furs. His joint venture with the Italian fashion house started in 1965 and over the years extended to all the labels, ready-to-wear collections, and is still going today. A chameleon of style, Karl Lagerfeld has nevertheless refined stylistic features of his own, which he works into his own eponymous line, which has been going since 1984. 1 year later, he had been called to give a new life to the House of Chanel. He gradually shook up its stylistic elements, rejuvenated its image, and introduced a breath of fresh air that allowed the brand to reassert its supremacy in the world of luxury and fashion. An insatiable couturier and designer, he again put his name to the Chloe collection from 1992 to 1997 and opened up a new chapter in his own name, launching the Lagerfeld Gallery in 1998. Always in tune with the world around him, he was the first to agree to take on the mass market, designing 30 models for H&M. This experience led to a new idea, a new beginning, which he started working on in 2010, announcing a collection for 2011 based on a new concept. Mass market, ready-to-wear garment, steeped in the luxury and quality of which the Lagerfeld style is a symbol. What I really like is what I've never done before, says Karl Lagerfeld, since he can never be content with the countless successes he has achieved in his fashion career. He has opened out his range of expression, creating opera costumes, revamping the Coca-Cola Light bottle, among other creative endeavors. In 1975, he wrote a new page of artistic expression with the Chloe perfume. His catalog of olfactory sensations was later enhanced with the Lagerfeld Pour Homme 1978, Jacco Perfume 1998, and Capsule in 2008, as well as Photo in 1991. An insolent citrusy fragrance that appears to gesture towards Lagerfeld, who by then had been behind the lens for some years. Long before I decided to turn to photography, he said, I had always been struck by the idea of expressing my vision of things through an anonymous machine, as though it were a paintbrush or a pencil. Ever since then, Karl Lagerfeld has himself shot all the advertising campaigns for the brands he has worked for as a designer. Today, photography is part of my life, he says. I can't see life without the vision of photography. I look at the world and at fashion with the eye of a camera. This enables me to maintain a critical detachment in my everyday work, which helps me more than I could ever have imagined. As well as for his sense of style and allure, Karl Lagerfeld is also in great demand for his sense of image and for the visual identity that so forcefully emerges from his printed works on paper. Whether he's photographing for advertising or fashion magazines, for an exhibition at Art Basel at the Maison Européenne de la Photographie, at the Palace of Versailles in Tokyo or New York or even in Berlin, his style is always instantly recognizable, a highly personal vision of reality, as Anne Cartier puts it. Of all materials in the world, the one I like best, he said, is paper. It is the starting point for a drawing and the finishing point for a photograph. The artistry of Karl Lagerfeld goes beyond fashion. His creative energy transforms visions and makes them into reality. But the genius of his talent has transformed the House of Chanel not just as the ever luxury brand, but a style power influencing women all the way to the future. This is the Designer Series. I'm David Tupaz for Essence of Style. Until next time.